they see you, they gon' see me. An accomplice we will be. We will be one love. We gon' last forever, babe. One love. I don't want another lover, babe.
Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. As you can see by the title of this video, yes, my car did catch on fire and there's a lot of information to unpack, so I need to jump right into this video. I'm trying to be quiet because other people are asleep. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm trying to be quiet, and the background noise that you hear is Alea sleeping. Before I start talking about what happened and going through all the details, I'm going to show you the videos and the pictures of the incident.
That's your water.
So those were the videos and the pictures that I took. I did have more. I had like videos of me talking to people and crying, and I had a video of me like walking around with socks on, but something happened to where Alea disabled my phone while I was asleep, and the only way that I can get back into it was if I factory reset it. Thankfully, I did send those videos and pictures to some people, so I just asked them to send it right back to me. And I also did make a TikTok with maybe some additional clips, so I'm gonna add that in too.
My car caught on fire while I was moving back home with my 2-year-old.
No, I literally just pulled over just so I could use the bathroom, and then I took the keys out of my car, and then I just saw smoke, and then I got out the car, and then it just started getting more, and that's when I...
My shoes got burned up, so I walked around with socks. My baby living life not knowing what's going on. As she should.
Okay, so those were the videos and pictures of what had happened. Just to jump right into it, and if you haven't watched it, I posted a video about explaining my parents kicking me out and all that. And in my video, I think I did talk about how my car was in the shop for like almost a month, how like it was acting up. My father had to pay to get it fixed, and he ended up paying almost $5K because I had to get my engine taken out and had to order, well, not a new one, but another one. Had to have that engine placed into my car, and then on top of that, my car did not pass inspection, so my father had to pay additional money to get that fixed, and it ended up being around 5K, give or take, like a little less. Okay, so after that incident, got my car back. It was working fine as far as I was concerned, and then everything was going down where my parents were kicking me out. So packed all my stuff. As you guys know, I was in California for like 2 months, give or take. So yeah, packed all my stuff, everything that was important to me, like my shoes, my clothes, important documents, everything. Alea's, like my stuff, Alea's stuff, packed it into my car, whatever we could take. Me and my daughter, we left in my car, and then, as you know, my cousin and her son and all their stuff, she left in her car, and then I followed behind her, and we drove all the way to California, which was like 3,000 miles, give or take. So during that drive from Pennsylvania to California, there was nothing going on with the car. The car was fine, no issues. Then when I was in California for a little bit, I started driving my car around, and I noticed like there was a smell, and I could see, like, when I paid real close attention, I could see that there was some like slight smoke coming from under my hood. It wasn't anything major, it was like smoke, and it would just disappear. And I thought originally that the issue was I needed an oil change, because mind you, when I was in Pennsylvania, I was driving around with no oil, because I think I got the car in December and it was in the shop in August. So from that time, I don't believe I got an oil change. Sorry. I don't believe I got an oil change from the time I got the car in December of last year. So I was driving around with like no oil in the car, and when my car ran out of gas, then all the issues and stuff. So that's what I thought the issue was, is, oh, I just drove 3,000 miles, I need an oil change. I got the oil change. That wasn't the issue, because it was still like slight smoke, like it was like you can kind of notice it. You couldn't kind of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can notice it sometimes, you could notice it sometimes. Sometimes it would really scare me because one of the times I was driving my car and the smoke started coming in through my air vents because it was hot outside. You know, California, I had my vents on. I was having cold air blowing into the car, and then I saw smoke coming from the hood of my car, and I also saw smoke like coming in from my air vents. So at that point, you know, I was scared. I was able to take it to Jiffy Lube, and they looked at my car for free, and they said, oh, the issue is you have a leaking valve cover gasket. But they couldn't help me. The people at Jiffy Lube could not help me because they don't do that kind of stuff, you know. So what I did was I called a mechanic, and it was like a come to you type of mechanic. Okay, so the mechanic came to me and just checked to make sure that that was the issue for free. And then once I did get enough money to fix the issue, because, you know, he gave me an estimate after looking at it. He was like, oh yeah, that is the issue. It's gonna cost about da da da. So I made an appointment. I got the money to be able to fix it, and I got it fixed. Mind you, at this time where I'm getting my car fixed and I'm calling the mechanic, I've been in California for about 2 months. Okay, mind you, California is very expensive, and I have no job. I've been unemployed for about 2 months now. No daycare, no jobs are getting back to me. I live in the middle of the desert, an hour away from like decent jobs. An hour away from like decent jobs. So I still have bills coming out. I still have car insurance bill. I still have phone bill. I still have loan bill. I still have the bill I need to pay to my father. So mind you, all these bills I had and no job. Okay, so I needed to get the money first. Actually needed to get the money from my parents in order to fix my car. I actually did record a Cali Q&A video that I was trying to post multiple times, and living out in the middle of the desert, at the time I was trying to post it, it didn't work, it didn't upload, and then the incident happened where I had to factory reset my phone, so I don't have that video anymore. But I was gonna tell you guys in that video that I was having second thoughts about living in California, because that's not ideal, because most of my paycheck would be going to gas alone, being that I live literally like an hour away from decent jobs, or like in the middle of the desert. So who's gonna be driving? That's another thing, is if I was gonna get a decent job, I would have to drive 1 hour out one way and then 1 hour back home every single day, every single week. So I'm like, I was having second thoughts. Ever since the first week of being in California, I was just, I had cried one time, and I think it was just like, I was just really homesick. And I just miss my parents, and I just miss being in Pennsylvania, where I was like surrounded by my family and I was comfortable. And I wasn't like comfortable in California because I've never been to California before. I live in the desert. I don't have like, I have bad service, and it's like, I don't, you know, like barely any trees around. It's just, you know, it's weird to me. It's not normal to me. So even the first week of me being in California, I was crying and I was homesick. So I had started to have second thoughts, and I took a while to think about it, and I decided for myself and my daughter that staying in California was not the best idea. Okay, so I had decided I want to go back home. I don't think it's a good idea for me to stay here. I'm just, you know, I'm in debt at this point. My bank account is literally negative $300. So like everything's just going bad. My car's, you know, messing up. So all these things are happening. So the mechanic guy, I get the money to get my car fixed. The mechanic guy comes to fix my car. I pay him $350. The next day, because mind you, I had been trying to leave, but you know, I didn't want to get on the road with a car that was having issues. So I got it fixed for $350. $350. The very next day, okay? The very next day, you know, I was packing up my stuff. You know, I had some of my stuff packed, but I packed the rest of it. I made sure I had all my clothes. I made sure I had all my stuff. I cleaned the room. I was sweeping. I was, you know, doing all that stuff. Making sure that everything was tidy, doing the dishes, cleaning the bathroom, making sure I had all my stuff, you know, doing what you do before you move out. Mind you, let me not forget to say, the mechanic looked at my car. He said, you know, because we were having a conversation, we were chatting while he was fixing my car. I was like, oh yeah, I really want to go back to Pennsylvania. I don't really like it out here. And I was like, oh, I'm kind of scared. Like, I don't know anything about cars. are you sure it's gonna be okay? Like, do I need to change my tires? And he was like, oh, I'll look at it for you for free. So he looked at my brakes. He said my brakes are good. He said my tires are good. He fixed the leaking valve cover gasket and said it was good. He reassured me multiple times that I would be able to drive my car anywhere. He said I can drive it anywhere. I should have no issues and it's fine. So I'm like, okay, that's good. That's good. I like to hear that. Next day, finish packing my stuff, get myself ready. I get Alea ready, and I get on the road. My cousins know I'm leaving. Mind you, let me not forget to say this, okay? I had been talking to my family about wanting to leave, and so they've been telling me, they was like, oh, it's not safe for you to be on the road by yourself. You should ask your father to drive out here and help you drive, or fly out here and help you drive, because anything can happen. I know that it's, you know, it's not safe for anybody to get on the road by themselves, literally, especially me and Alea, me being 18-year-old woman and Alea being a child, and we're both female. So of course it's not safe, but my family members kept asking for me to ask my father to buy a plane ticket and fly out to me to help me drive home. And I mean, it would have been safer, of course, it would have been safer if I would have said, yes, please come out here and help me drive. I just want to be, you know, take that extra precaution to be safe. But I don't know, it's just like you're asking me to ask him to buy a plane ticket or to drive his car all the way to California to help me drive and turn right back around. To some people, that's not extra. To some people, it is extra, but I don't know. I was just like, nah, it should be good. I just got my car fixed. I should be good. I shouldn't have any issues. I'm gonna get a hotel, make sure I'm being safe. I don't want to, be on the road, falling asleep and stuff. I'm gonna make sure I get a hotel. I'm gonna make sure I update you guys on where I am, reassuring them, oh, I'm gonna be fine. Just pray for me, we're gonna make it. Don't say stuff like that. Like, don't speak into existence, because everybody keeps saying, oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? I'm like, don't speak it into existence. Just, pray for me and pray that we'll make it home safely. So I get on the road, the day after the mechanic fixes my car, and I had drove to the gas station. Guys, I drove to the gas station, right? And I smell that smell again, and I see like slight smoke, right? And I call up the mechanic. I'm like, hey, I was just driving my car and I noticed that there was like some smoke coming out. And he was like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. Like, that's totally normal. Like, everything's fine. And I was like, oh, so the smoke is just like that, that's okay? He was like, yeah, you just have like, I think it was my oil that was leaking onto my engine, and so it was like kind of built up over time. And he was like, that's just the oil that has to burn off. That's what's causing it to smoke. And also the part that he replaced needed to like burn in, if that makes sense. Sorry I sound like this, I'm actually very tired. So he was telling me, he was like, oh, it's all fine. You should be able to drive that thing all across the world. Like, literally, it's no issues. I double checked it. You should be fine. Like, the smoke, just don't worry about it. So I'm like, okay, I like to hear that. That's good to hear. Coming from a mechanic who seems to know what he's doing, he's telling me it should be fine. When I was leaving, filled on my gas. I had low tire pressure, so I went to go put air in my tires. Then I finally got on the road. So I got on the road, driving. I call my cousin. I'm like, oh, my cousin that I moved there with. I'm like, oh, we're finally on the road. I just want to call and let you know. So I get on the road. I'm chilling. I bought some snacks. Me and Alea, we're eating. We're listening to music. We're chilling. I'm driving. And at this point, it's 4 hours. So we've been driving. Well, I've been driving for 4 hours. I've been drinking and eating, so I need to go to the bathroom. And I see a sign that says rest stop. Mind you, at this time, I'm in Arizona because I have been driving for 4 hours. So I'm in Arizona at this point. And I pull over to the rest stop. I'm like, okay, let me get out, stretch our legs, need to go use the bathroom, take a leg to the bathroom, do whatever we need to do, and then get back on the road. So I pull over to the rest stop, pull into my parking spot, put my car in park, take the keys out, and I look and I see like smoke coming out. And at first I'm like, okay, smoke, he said that was gonna be normal. I see it creating more smoke. So I get out of my car. Mind you, I keep saying mind you, I'm sorry, but I didn't have my shoes on. Like, I had my slippers on, like Walmart slippers over my socks, but I took those off because I wanted to be comfortable. I wanted to put my leg up and like this. Well, y'all can't see it, but like have my leg up comfortable. I wanted to be comfortable during this long drive, so I took my slippers off and they were right next to me. So I got out of the car, no shoes on, and I'm looking at my car to see if it's gonna go away. Like, I'm evaluating it basically, trying to see if it's gonna go away, and it doesn't. It starts to create some more smoke. So I pull out my phone and I record it, and I'm just like, you know, like, this is what's happening with my car. And before y'all come for me talking about some, why would you pull your phone out and start recording when I was in California and I first noticed that my car was smoking, like slight smoke, I recorded it and I sent it to my father. So this is the same thing that I did. I took out my phone and I recorded the smoke, which is the video that y'all saw. And then it's just start creating more. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, it's not going away. This is something more serious. So my initial thought is go get Alea, because Alea's still in the car. She's still in her car seat. So I'm not worried about having shoes on. I'm just like, go get Alea. So I go get Alea her car seat and I step back away from the car. So at this point, I'm getting scared. I'm like, the first thing that I do is I call my father. I don't call 911, which is probably what I should have done, but I called my father because I'm like, my father bought this car. He likes cars. He knows a lot about cars. So I'm just like, call my father. I call my father on FaceTime. I show him my car and he's just like, what do you want me to do? I think at this point I'm crying. Like, I think I was crying, and then he answered the phone. He was like, what's going on? I flipped my camera. I showed him my car. He's talking to me. He's, trying to calm me down because I'm freaking out. And then I look at my car and I see flames. Like, my car is actually in flames. And you know what I should have done? Well, I'm not gonna say that I should have done this, but I should have at least grabbed my bag. When I was going to get Alea, I should have like grabbed my bag real quick, because my bag had my wallet, my ID, my money, my cash, everything. I also think that it was a good thing I didn't try to go back and grab anything, because what if my car would have like blown up in flames? What if Alea was close by me and it burst into flames, or something dangerous that was happening? So I kind of think of it now, and I'm glad that I didn't go try to get anything. My car was in flames at this point, and I'm crying. I'm like, oh my god, my car's on fire, while I'm on the phone with my dad talking about you need to cut that out, that's not gonna help. And I don't know, it's just like I'm kind of panicking. My car's on fire. Everything that I ever own is in that car. I'm in the middle of Arizona at a rest stop. It's like, and he's telling me, you need to cut that out, that's not gonna help the situation. Sorry, I can't help it. My car's on fire in front of my very own eyes. I don't know what to do. I've never been in this situation before. So yeah, he's like, okay, you need to hang up the phone and call 911 and tell them where you are, and call me back. So I hang up the phone. I don't know where I am at this point. I literally just pulled into a random rest stop, and so truckers start coming over to me. People start coming over to me. Some people had their phones out recording my car. Some people were coming over to me, making sure there was nobody else in the vehicle, making sure we were okay. And and I'm crying at this point. And the 911 person is like, where are you located? And I'm like, I don't know. I hand my phone to some man, and he tells the woman on the phone where we are. I shouldn't have been reacting the way that I was reacting, although I couldn't help myself because I was in a state of panic from not knowing what to do. Although I was freaking out. Alea, though, she was starting to cry. She was starting to freak out because I was freaking out. So the fire department's on their way at this point. Smoke is in the air, not just white smoke. It's not black, it's gray smoke. God bless that one lady. I don't know what her name is or who she is or where she was from, but she did give me some money, and I really thank her. And I made sure to thank her, and I never got her name, never got her information or anything. So if you happen to be that lady and you run across this video and I'm talking about you, thank you so much and God bless you. This other guy bought me and Alea snacks because we didn't have anything, so he had brought us some snacks and some water just to make sure it was okay. Another man was his daughter was working at a hotel, and he had reserved a room for us just in case we needed to go there, and they was all just trying to come together and help us. So Me and Alea, we sit down, you know, we're eating the snacks, we're drinking the snacks and stuff. We're waiting for people to come. By the time the fire department showed up, it was about like maybe half an hour. It was about maybe half an hour before they showed up. So at this point, my whole car is black. They put out the fire, and as y'all saw when I showed y'all, my whole car was black. And I asked them, you know, some of the officers came over and talked to me. They was just like, are you okay? They took down my information. They took down my car insurance information. And I had asked one of the officers or fire department people if there was anything in the car that could have been saved, and he said no. Everything is in my car. My clothes, Alea's clothes, my shoes, her toys, any electronics. I had 2 laptops in my car, a speaker, AirPods, Alea's tablet that she used to watch TV on the back of the headrest, my wallet, my bag, birth certificates, social security numbers, all important documents, all important mail, handwritten letters that were written to me, anything I've gotten for Christmas, like literally you name it, and it was gone. The title, gone. Everything was gone. Literally nothing could have been saved. So at that point, I had lost basically literally my whole life. Like my whole life and Alea's whole life was gone. We didn't have any clothes except for the clothes that we had on our back. I didn't have shoes on because, mind you, I told y'all my shoes were in the car. I didn't have any shoes on. No money except for the money that the woman gave me. No food except for the snacks that the guy gave us. No toothbrush, no underwear, no bra, no nothing. I also asked, do they know what the cause of the fire was? And mind you, it took them half an hour to get there, so they said no, they don't know what the how it started, and they were not going to investigate because by the time they got there, anything that would have been cracked or caused a leak was all burnt. Everything was melted, everything was burnt. So they was like they're not even gonna investigate. Everybody's blowing up my phone. My parents are blowing up my phone. My cousins are blowing up my phone. Everybody's calling me. So my father had called Granny and asked if she can come pick us up. It was like a 4-hour drive, so he was like, can you come? Oh. She agreed to come pick us up. So she was driving from California to Arizona. It was like a 4-hour drive. So in the meantime, American Red Cross was called and they came to help us. They had given us they had given me like this card. Let me show you. I have it in my pocket actually. So this is the card that they gave. It's American Red Cross card. Yeah, so they gave me this card that had some money on it, and they allowed us to go to the store and get some, you know, necessities. I bought literally myself 3 outfits. I bought Alea 3 outfits. I bought necessities. I bought toothbrush, toothpaste, underwear, bra, you know, just stuff that you need, like soap, you know, stuff like that. So I had just bought like necessities. I bought some food because we're hungry. Yeah, so, and then, you know, we just ended up sitting and they was taking my information and things were just going down. Like, y'all, that whole day was just, it was ridiculous. And I just knew, like, my family members were going to be disappointed in me because all my family members were trying to tell me, oh, you should get somebody to drive with you. You should get somebody to drive with you. But mind you guys, my intentions were never to drive by myself. Okay? I never wanted to go drive all the way across the United States by myself with my daughter. I never wanted to do that. I wanted to drive with Granny because, you know, I'm not going to go too much into that, but, you know, I wanted to go back home with Granny. But I had found out, like, at the last minute that that wasn't going to be the case. So I'm just like, you know, I can't really wait any longer. I'm already in debt. I keep borrowing money from my parents. I had borrowed like an extra $500 on top of what I already owe them, you know, because mind you, I told you my father had to pay to fix my car. He had paid around $5K, but he was only asking me for $1,800 because he said he doesn't consider it my fault. So he was asking me only to pay him back $1,800. And on top of that, I had borrowed $500 just to get by because I didn't have any money. And just to get that $500, guys, because mind you, I can't put that money into my bank account, because my bank account was like negative $300. So if I would have transferred that money to my bank account, like from Cash App, it would have just sucked it all up and I wouldn't have been able to use it. So what I did was I asked my mom to go to a Walmart, right, and send me that money, and then I would go to a Walmart and pick it up. In order to get money from my parents, this was a couple days or like the day before I had left, because you know I needed money for gas, I needed money for hotel. So I asked my parents for money, and I had to drive over an hour just to go to Walmart to get the money, because I couldn't, you know, transfer it to my bank account. I was just going through too much just to get some money to literally live. Like I didn't have any money to my name. I didn't have any money to my name. So at this point, I'm just getting myself more into debt. And when I found out at the last minute that I wasn't going to be able to drive home with Granny, I'm just like, okay, I've been in California for too long. I can't do it anymore. I'm not gonna, you know, I can't sit here and wait for my father to come fly out or drive and come, you know, I just couldn't. And on top of that, it's like, I didn't really want to ask my parents or my father, oh, can you pay for a plane ticket and come all the way to California, da da da. So I'm just like, no, just pray for me. I think I'm gonna be able to make it. I should be fine, da da da. If an emergency happens, then I'll ask you to come get us. And so that's why I was on the road by myself, but that was never my intention. Granny and one of my other cousins came to pick me and Leah up, and I mean, it was just ridiculous. Like, I really just felt so bad, because it's no reason why you should come drive 4 hours just to come pick me up and then drive 4 hours back home. But don't worry, I paid her for that gas money. Like, she didn't just come pick us up for free. Like, I paid her for that. Like, don't worry. But yeah, so at that point, I went straight back to my cousin's house, living in the middle of the desert. And at that point, I'm just like, why is life doing this to me? Like, I was going to go back home, and I was gonna, my plan all along was to go back to Pennsylvania. That's where I was heading. I wanted to go back home. I wanted to go be in a place I was familiar. I wanted to go and get a job. You know, I wanted to be back home with my parents. So that was where I was going. And I was gonna go after everything happened. I was gonna try to get a plane ticket, even though my identifications, everything that I had was burned up. I heard that you can get through TSA without an ID. So I was like, okay, I think I'm just gonna try to get a plane ticket and try to come home. But after I given it some thought, I decided that I don't, you know, because you guys kind of kicked me out and our relationship was not good. We was going back and forth, and I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't want to go back home, you know, at least not right now. Like, I don't want to go back home. So I was given this offer, like, before I had moved to California. I was given this offer to move in with Alea's father's mother, her grandmother. And I had politely declined, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to live in California, da da da. Me and my cousin are going to split rent. So after I decided I didn't want to go back home, but I still needed to get out of California, I'm just like, I hit up Alea's grandmother, and I was like, you guys said that I can stay with you? And she was like, yeah, you have your own room, da da da. And I was like, I think I want to give it a try. Mind you, she lives in Maryland, and I used to live in Maryland. I never wanted to leave Maryland. So I'm just like, I think I'm gonna give it a try. I would like to come stay with you guys. So, you know, Alea would be closer to her father. She would be closer to her other family members and stuff. And I was just like, I want to try it. I don't want to go back home. So they really helped me. Alea's grandmother, Alea's brother's mom, which is also Alea's father's girlfriend, you know, they helped me a lot, and they really made sure that we was good, and I really appreciate them. So that's where I am right now. Me and Alea live with her grandmother and other family members, so that's where we are right now. And I'm just, you know, trying to get back on my feet. I'm just trying to do better. I'm trying to get new birth certificates, new SSN, well, not new, but, you know, new copies of SSN numbers, new ID, new debit card, new everything, because, you know, I lost everything. So trying to get new clothes, because I had only bought like 3 outfits at Walmart. I'm trying to get shoes, like decent shoes, because I keep wearing slippers, Walmart slippers, and, you know, it's getting real cold outside. So that's where I am in life right now. I still talk to my parents. You know, our conversations aren't always that great, but I still talk to them. I still FaceTime them from time to time. Yeah, so I actually like it here. I actually live really close to like really, really, really close to where I used to live before I moved, like walking distance, and I really like that. I'm also in a comfortable environment as it is, because I was born in Maryland. You know, I lived in Maryland for so long, so like I'm very comfortable here. Alea's grandmother and her family, they treat us so well. They make sure that we're good. They make sure we have food to eat. They make sure, you know, that they're trying very hard to get us back on our feet. They're trying really hard to help us, you know, get back to where we used to be, and I really appreciate it. And I just really like being here right now. And I honestly think that I'm in a better situation than what I would have been if I moved back with my parents. And you know, I'm just feeling it out, and I'm loving it so far. I'm loving it. I like being in Maryland. So that's where I'm at right now. I really hope that I didn't miss any details. It's probably like 3 o'clock and I'm very tired and my voice is very shaky. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of what was going on. So yeah, the GoFundMe that I set up is just to help us get back on our feet. If you would like to donate, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to put the link in the description. I also typed out like the whole story, basically everything that I just said in this video. But if you would rather read the story, it's there. I typed out the whole thing if you would like to read that instead. If you can donate, it's totally fine. If you would just be able to share the story, I would really, really appreciate it. Anything helps, so don't worry if you can only give like $5. I promise you it will really help. I do appreciate anybody that's been helping, like that lady who was helping us the day of the incident, Alea's grandmother, Alea's father, you know, my second mom who lives like down the street in my old neighborhood. She's been helping me too. She's been buying me clothes, taking me shopping so that I'm not wearing the same 3 outfits. You know, everybody that's been, you know, chiming in to help me and Alea by buying us clothes and stuff and just making sure that we're okay. I really appreciate it, and I'm just trying to figure out things. You know, life has been beating me and Alea. Well, not necessarily Alea, because Alea has been living her life, but life has really been beating me up lately. And I mean, you know, it doesn't last forever. I'm gonna get over it. I'm gonna get out of this situation, but you know, things happen. Life happens. That's life. But yeah, so if you would like to donate, I would really, really appreciate it. Anything helps. And yeah, that's basically the story. I really hope I'm not forgetting anything. If you have any questions or, you know, comments or anything about what happened that I can answer or address, you can just leave it in the comments. I'll be reading them. I'll be answering. You can DM me. You can, you know, all that. So thank you for listening to this very, very long story, but lots of things have been going on, and I really just wanted to update y'all on what's going on, and I hope that bad things stop happening to me. I'm gonna be praying more. I'm gonna be speaking to God more. I'm gonna be putting my face in that Bible more. I'm gonna be going to church more, and yeah, I just need to fix my life. That's what I need to do right now. But yeah, so thank you for watching this video. If you did, sorry if it was all over the place. Let me know if you guys still want that Cali Q&A. I can still post it, but I guess it's pretty much pointless because you guys know I'm not in Cali anymore. So thank you for watching if you did, and I'll be back soon with more videos.